Hello and welcome to another edition of the Son of Kaiju Review podcast. I'm Protomet.
I'm Tank. You kind of fumbled there for a little bit.
A little bit, but I scored the touchdown.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. For the other team.
A win's a win. That's a loss. Today we will be taking a look at the Asylum's Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. Which is apparently the first in a series of films.
Yeah.
So they got like 4 Mega Shark films that get increasingly more crazy.
Shark to pussy.
This, of course, being an Asylum movie, it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Low budget.
Yeah, it was pretty low budget. It's probably the most high-budgeted Asylum film was that Pacific Rim ripoff that they had. Well, at least that one was kind of good.
I mean, kind of, but that's a topic for another day. Today we're talking about shark and octopus.
Swat.
So let's start with whales.
Yes, a guy and a girl are in a submarine.
Checking out whale migration
Apparently, they're making the whales listen to Mozart.
or something. Also, they're kind of doing it illegally because the company that they work for didn't actually give them permission to use the sub. So
Then they should have got a $5 footlong at Subway.
Brian, smack yourself. There you go. Saves me having to get up and cross the table.
Oh shit! Yeah. We're gonna apologize right now. We can't really remember much from this movie. We just watched it yesterday.
Well, it is a pretty dull movie for the most part. But
these schlucks have to get done so we can move on.
Yeah. And one of us chose to review this, so it's on whoever it was. It was probably me. I probably picked this movie. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it was me.
It could have been me too. I'm not 100%.
Like sometimes we just know we gotta cover some bad movies to offset all the good movies that we cover.
Oh yeah. There's a lot more good movies than bad movies. Well, we'll find out.
Final tally at the end of this series. No.
No, we're not gonna do that.
But anyway, the migrating whales are kind of upset when some helicopter swings by and drops like some.
Honestly, it looked like a landmine.
It looked like a landmine, but it was some sort of device that was emitting like a low frequency of some sort.
Yep, and it was affecting the migration of the whales, and
apparently it was illegal, though they never actually explain why.
well, we understand why it was illegal from the other two that were watching this happen, because they stole the submarine.
I mean, yeah, that made sense. We understand that. It's just the only reason we, the audience, are even aware that what this helicopter guy did is illegal is because the female scientist, who I think is named Emma, so let's just call her that for the rest of the movie.
I'll forget.
Just casually says that it's illegal. Doesn't explain why. Just says, "Oh, that's illegal."
That's illegal.
And apparently that's enough to cause the helicopter to go haywire and crash into the nearby glacier, which somehow frees a giant shark and a giant octopus that had been frozen there.
I must have looked at my phone when that happened.
Yeah, no, it just kind of looked like he just crashes into the side of it.
Oh. So it was a suicide bomber.
Unintentionally, but I guess. I mean, the effects work for that was pretty bad. Like, I was like, ugh, wait, did he just crash into it, or did the helicopter just explode? Like, what the heck happened?
The logical way would be that he crashed, but
Like, there's no actual explanation as to how he actually even lost control. He just lost control and crashed into the side of the glacier, I guess. But anyway, now a giant octopus and a giant shark are free, and then they just kind of go their separate ways. Which,
yep.
we will talk about that.
So pretty much they end up going back to work, and then Emma gets yelled at by her boss. Her friend says he's not going to leave the car if he wants, because he knows he's just going to lose his job. Apparently Emma kept her job.
No, she got fired. It just took a while.
Paperwork,
I suppose, but they do go to the nearby beach.
Paperwork.
Classic reference. That's for all you longtime fans out there.
There's space paperwork?
If you know, you know. Given how many people watch that video.
They know. Come on, you know it's the cat wedding.
It's obviously. So crazy. Anyway, so Emma and the other guy go to the beach and find a dead whale that some of the other scientists are taking a look at, and I guess some federal agents too.
Yep.
It's just a messed up giant whale. Which, in this context, doesn't mean that it's a mutant. It just is
a whale.
It's just a whale.
Whales are quite large.
Yes. But then, while kind of looking over the thing, Emma spots something, but doesn't really get the opportunity to check out what it is, because it's not really her jurisdiction, because she's being chewed out by some other guy.
Yep. Then
she comes back later that night, tricks the security guard into thinking she's allowed to be there, and kind of
pulls out a sharp, pointy thing that ends up being a tooth.
Well, she ends up later finding out that it is a tooth, but it looks kind of like a mangled tooth, to be honest. Looks like it was broken up or something.
It had cavities, man.
Huge cavities.
Well, it belongs to something huge.
But anyway, while that's going on, over in Japan, an oil rig gets attacked by a giant octopus.
You kind of forget that there's an octopus in this movie.
I mean, I didn't, but...
No, if you kind of keep watching.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, most of this film takes place from the American perspective. So, yeah.
I
think the only survivor of the oil rig is taken into custody by the Japanese government for some reason, and he ends up talking to some guy named Seiji, who's a scientist, who basically draws him a picture of the thing that attacked the oil rig. And then this survivor is never seen ever again. But Seiji now becomes a secondary character.
So, Emma ends up going to visit her old teacher.
Yes.
Some Irish man.
Let's just call him Old Teacher.
Sure.
Because I can't remember his name.
See, when it comes to like movies like this, you know, we do a lot of these where we just gotta make up their names.
I mean, I could grab my tablet and look the movie up, but I don't wanna. But anyway, she shows him the big tooth thing, and he does some research and finds out that it's a megalodon.
Megalodon tooth. Scaggered tooth.
Which fits right in with his research, which somehow got him kicked out of
the Navy.
No, not the Navy, just the academics. society. Apparently had some crazy theories, because you can't have a scientist in these movies that doesn't have crazy theories that gets them kicked out of this community.
Yeah.
At some point, Seiji shows up.
Yeah, he shows up. They meet somewhere.
He shows them the
drawing of the octopus.
And they immediately kind of realize that it's not a megalodon,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also on the other side of the world, of the ocean, so they kind of didn't expect that it was a teleporting megalodon in the first place.
No.
Some other stuff happens, I suppose.
Yeah. So we on a scene in a person on a plane.
Oh, God. This guy is nervous because it hit a patch of turbulence and he's getting married in a couple days. So...
So, the stewardess tells him, it'll be all fine. It better be. Then all of a sudden they all get eaten by a megalodon that's randomly in the sky.
Yeah, Megalodon, I somehow managed to jump out of the... Not only jump out of the ocean, which... Incredible feat for a megalodon to do, but jump out of the ocean with such a forward momentum that he flies up into the lower stratosphere above the cloud line and eats a plane.
Yep. That made Lucas crack out laughing.
Because of how goddamn ridiculous that is. That any suspension of disbelief will immediately come crashing down as soon as you have a shark biting a plane. Mm-hmm. And not even a low-flying one.
Oh, it was up in the air.
It was at normal height for a passenger plane passing over the ocean.
So, after I witnessed that happen, I looked at Lucas and said, so does this megalodon know how to fly?
Apparently. But only for this one scene.
Yeah.
I guess.
Just like... It was so stupid.
Anyway, Emma's compatriot, who I don't even remember if he got fired or if he just stuck around, but he sends her a tape of, or a DVD of the footage from the wrecked sub. And it's at that point that the characters confirm that there is indeed a giant shark and a giant octopus.
They were frozen fighting. Apparently.
Yes. We'll discuss that soon enough.
They... Emma and...
Old teacher or Seiji? Which one?
Seiji end up getting close.
But then the feds show up.
Yep.
And take them into custody.
Mm-hmm.
And then put them to work trying to figure out how to capture these giant ancient creatures.
Yeah, so they literally the teacher offers Emma and Seiji some coffee. He turns around and the feds bust through his door. And he goes, just very coy, just like, what can I do for you, gentlemen? No, they have guns in their face.
We're introduced to this agent for the government who's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Because, of course, he is. This is a government agent. Of course, it's going to be an asshole. The thing is, he's the kind of asshole that is bound to make a situation worse while trying to make it better.
Mansley.
Basically. Kent Mansley.
Hi, I'm Kent Mansley. I work for the government. Yeah, I know, you're Kent Mansley and you work for the government.
Let's keep calling him Mansley.
Okay.
Because I can't be fucked to remember most of these characters' names outside of Seiji. And that's only because I'm like, is that supposed to be a Ultraman reference, or is that just his name? That's just a random name they came up with.
Who knows?
It's probably a random name, because if it were an Ultraman reference, why would that be the only one?
Why would Asylum deal with Ultraman?
Exactly. Anyway.
So,
Anyway, the scientists work on trying to figure out how to catch the giant creatures, because they don't want the giant creatures to be killed because of what they can provide to scientific study. They want to capture them.
So, during the night, Emma and Seiji end up getting intimate, and then they figure out an idea. Hormone!
No, pheromones.
Hormones?
Hormones are a completely different thing. Pheromones are something that may or may not actually be science, but we're not here to debate it because it's present in this movie and they're presenting it as the thing. But basically, they're going to use pheromones to try and lure the megalodon and the giant squid, or giant octopus, into San Francisco and Tokyo Bays, respectively.
So they could capture them and
study them.
Yes.
So Seiji ends up going back to Japan, and Emma and old teacher stick around, working with the FBI agent, getting like a mini sub to try and lure it into San Francisco Bay.
San Francisco Bay.
Unfortunately, they have a technical malfunction, and the shark ends up. What did the shark do?
So, remember earlier when the shark, jumped really high and bit the plane? Took a big chunk out of the bridge.
San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. Yay. I happened to look away when this happened, so I didn't remember it, but I'm taking your word for it.
Yep.
Because you could tell me anything that happened in this movie, and I'd probably believe you. Because I didn't care.
You think I cared? I came here today to tell you, is it bad that I don't remember anything from this movie? I was on Twitter half the time.
That is fair. I was busy doing other stuff myself as well, so I'm not judging you.
So, pretty much, the shark got past that point, and now they're chasing the sharkers
back out into the ocean. I guess. Also, I think thousands of people are dead now.
Oh yeah.
I guess it caused quite a bit of destruction. They get a message from Seiji, and his team didn't fare much better. Nope. Unfortunately, we don't get to see what happens over on his end. That probably would have been pretty interesting, but nope. He just tells us, yeah, no, it didn't work.
It would have gave us a little bit more plot to what's going on with the octopus's side.
I think it's at about this point, they come to the realization, well, these two are ancient creatures. Let's get them together to fight. Because, of course, being ancient natural enemies, as soon as they are freed from the ice that is holding them mid-battle, they immediately go in completely opposite directions. Hope to never see each other ever again. Because they're natural enemies that are naturally repelled from each other, I guess.
They wanted to warm up. They were probably so cold being in that ice for that long and still alive.
Yeah, now, the biggest hang-up I have on this movie is that throughout the second half of the movie, when they're trying to get the giants to face each other, they keep talking about how they're the natural predators of each other and they'll be naturally attracted into fighting each other. But as soon as they are freed from the ice at the beginning of the movie, one of them just decides to completely split and go up to the other side of the ocean. And the other one doesn't even bother to chase it. It's like...
They're just saying they're getting too old for this shit.
I could find it a bit more believable if the giant octopus had been freed from the ice near Japan. That would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they find both the giant octopus and the megalodon in North America, and then the octopus splits for Japan.
That's a long fucking way.
You know what? Fuck it. I think I came to the realization. Monster is set in this movie's continuity. Giant tentacle monster, never actually given an explanation. It's the fucking giant squid from this movie. Change my mind.
For a monster?
Yes. Change my mind. Because I don't care.
I don't wanna.
I have no evidence to really back it up outside of they're both tentacle monsters. But we never actually see what Mizuchi looks like in Monsters, so fuck it. It's a giant squid from this movie.
Sure.
I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, this movie has broken Proto-Med.
Oh god, I've turned into one of those YouTube conspiracy theorists, but for like non-important stuff like TV shows. Not the kind of conspiracy theories that'll get you thrown into a loony bin and or a political office. Anywho,
the Mansley tells him, screw that. We'll have them actually, like these, screw these, like tree hugging people or something, because
we're gonna nuke them, and they're like, no, don't nuke them in the middle of the ocean. It'll have horrific ramifications for the rest of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone the sea.
A lot of dead fish.
Also, there's one point where there's a jet pilot who's flying over the megalodon and trying to get scans of it, but he wants to stay at a certain elevation so that he doesn't crash. And Mansley's like, "No, you get down there and you do the job you're paid for." It. Obviously, it ends with the shark eating the plane, and so obviously this guy wasn't paid enough.
Mm-hmm.
No amount of payment could make that worthwhile.
No. They're in another submarine, and we were probably skipping a lot of shit, but we just don't care.
Yeah.
Emma's pilot. Actually, there's this guy piloting the submarine.
I think he's the captain of the submarine,
Mm-hmm.
so he's captaining it. Yeah.
And this guy keeps telling them to go faster and faster, but they're in a kind of a tighter...
They're in like a trench.
Yep. And then he turns down, tells, I guess, the commander no, and points his gun at him, and Emma ends up knocking him out, and then the teacher takes control of the speed of the sub.
At some point, the giant octopus attacks Seiji's sub, so he's believed to be dead for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Except that, no, he ends up being fine.
Mm-hmm.
They end up finding him alive.
Seiji.
A bunch of harrowing stuff happens, and eventually they do manage to get the giant octopus and the giant megalodon to fight each other to the apparent death.
Yeah, apparently. Honestly, each little thing we saw was the octopus wrapping the megalodon up with its tentacles.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to actually watch the fight. I just like, yep, no, I'm checking out.
That was it. Like, it would wiggle a little bit. It was pretty much, the megalodon was pretty much contained the entire fight.
be a bad CGI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this movie sucks.
Oh, and Seiji's alive.
Yep.
And he decides, since there's no longer a threat, he's going to stick around in Japan for a while. So then old teacher interrupts him and Emma getting intimate on the beach and tells them about something else that's happening in the northern seas or something. So they both excitedly decide to join up to deal with that, and that's how the movie ends.
And I bet you these actors aren't in any of the other ones.
Well, they're certainly not in the next one. That's the only one of the 4 movies in the Mega Shark series that we've seen outside of this one. So, although I do know that the 3rd and 4th movies get kind of crazy with regards to their plots, but we'll deal with those another day. We're not going to start on the next one. I think it's Dino Croc.
We already watched that one.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Yep.
Oh, Crocosaurus, sorry. Dino Croc is a different movie.
I think they fight.
Probably.
Sorry that we didn't give you any detail, but this movie really sucked.
Yeah, this movie is boring. We definitely seen worse movies, but the bar for that is pretty low. I mean, come on, King Dinosaur and Monster.
We have beaten King Dinosaur like a dead horse.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep beating it because this is a shitty movie.
I'm not saying you should stop.
I mean, for me, that is as low as we had ever gone in terms of the movie qualities. That is the bottom of the barrel for kaiju movies, in my opinion.
The thing is, though, we haven't really scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's a lot of kaiju and giant monster movies that we haven't seen yet, both old and new.
We have a stack.
We are
DVDs.
in Blu-rays.
Yeah, DVDs and Blu-rays. Mostly Blu-rays right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But hey, we're working on it. I mean, we're talking about this obscure piece of crap. So...
I just remember the last time me, you, and Jesse went down to Mankato, and I think we went to the Walmart down there, and
I bought a bunch of movies.
just like, oh, this, what's
I've
this?
seen this one. I've seen that one.
Hopefully they're giant monster movies and not just strange covers.
Yeah, I don't want a Moontrap Target Earth situation again.
Oh, God.
For context in that, the DVD cover for that movie has a giant robot on it that appears nowhere in the entirety of the movie. Mm-hmm. That was blatant false advertising. That movie was a goddamn piece of crap, and it didn't even have the giant robot I was expecting it to have. So I'm pretty sure as soon as it was done, I just tossed it onto a pile of stuff I'm trying to get rid of. So. We will never cover that movie.
Thank God.
Like, I do not have the patience for that kind of crap.
I'm just, like, I think I selected it to watch, and like, on one of the days of just one of our watch sessions, and then just like, no, it was just like,
But
I don't even remember the plot, but it was just,
yeah, no. Again, if we try to go into it, we're gonna just end up reviewing it, and we don't want that. We're definitely trying to veer back on course. So, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
I don't like this movie.
No, I don't either. I mean, heck, the only reason I actually have a copy of this movie is because it came packaged on a Blu-ray with Monster and Godzilla vs. Biollante.
And the only one we're willing to watch is Godzilla vs. Biollante.
I eventually rebought a Blu-ray that was just Godzilla vs. Biollante.
Good.
I then
That nice piece of art deserves its own thing and not being on a triple set.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, it was a bad movie. Avoid at all costs. I don't have much else to say.
If you've already seen this movie, you know what we're going through.
So until next time, I'm Protomat.
I'm Tank. Signing off. Bye.
See ya.